So, good morning. I think we need to give gap for history classes again because timings are not getting adjusted. They have shifted to two classes from two subjects from three subjects, right? So, I think for another 2 weeks from tomorrow, history will be stopped. I think you have political science. Has that been communicated to you? Maybe. So, because the requirement here is from 8 to 10, but we started at 7 to 9, right? So I have other batches. So what they said is they will do some other subject and history will be back after few days, few weeks. But today we'll have the class for 1 hour up to 9. Okay. So what was the last point you were discussing? Chandragupta 2, right? I think that is where we stop. Okay, we are talking about Guptan Empire, right? Okay. Fine. I think 2 points I told yesterday is that his details come to us from Devi Chandraguptam, which is written by Visakadatta, and also uh, the Mehroli iron pillar inscription. These are the two things we said, and I also narrated you the point about how he came to power. Right? Devi Chandragupta says he saved the kingdom and the queen from the enemy. So Chandragupta to Vikramaditya is important because if we see the literary development and cultural development under the Guptas, Chandragupta too is considered to be very important. His court has somebody called Navaratnas, the great writers of ancient India, who authored different books which are classic in their own style, whatever may be the subject. They are fiction, non-fiction, science, technology and all that. So Navaratnas are in the court of Chandragupta to Vikramaditya. And these Navaratnas are not always identified who are those 9 people. It is rather notional, but except Harisena, who was the commander-in-chief of Samudragupta, who wrote Allahabad description, most of the Guptan writers, including Kalidas, are supposed to be in the court of Chandragupta too. Okay, so his contribution is patronage of men of letters and also the great writers. So you have to remember this for the objective type as well as in descriptive type. If there is a question on literature and science and technology, you have to remember that. I will write some names. You please copy that. Continuation of where we stopped yesterday. Notes can be followed in the same way. See, Kalidas was one of the great writers of ancient India. And Kalidas is also known as Indian Shakespeare. Okay, he is known as Indian Shakespeare. So remember this, it's very important. And Shakespeare is very good in writing in English, right? His English is very good like that. Kalidas was also was known for his flowery way of Sanskrit writing. So he has been called Indian Shakespeare, and he was in the court of Chandragupta to Vikramaditya, and one of the Navaratnas in his court. So what are the books he wrote? Abhijnana Shakuntala. You know, this book is a story. Actually, you also need to know some of the subject content of these books. Earlier, it was adequate if you know who is the writer and what is the name of the book. Some of the important things that are mentioned in this book is also important. You know, there is references to agriculture, there is references to irrigation in Abhijnana Shakuntalam. This year, UPSC preliminary, they have given a question on Arighatta. What is Arighatta or Varighatta? It is also written as Varighatta. The UPSC uses spelling as Arighatta, A-R-R-I, Arighatta. Okay. So, this is an irrigation device mentioned in Abhijnana Shakuntalam. Okay. So, they can ask you like UPSC prelims they had asked, what is Arighatta or Varighatta? That is irrigation device. Okay. And where it is mentioned, Abhijnana Shakuntalam, Kalidas book. Okay. Take a note. It talks about agriculture, irrigation, and other aspects. Okay. Make a running notes kind of thing. Arighatta or Varighatta is the irrigation device mentioned in Abhijnana Shakuntalam. Sorry. Now, Abhijnana Shakuntalam is a Puranic story where they will not ask this kind of stories in the examination, but you should know what is it about. It is about Dushyant and Shakuntala, which is a Puranic story. It's not a secular story, right? This is one of the books Kalidas has written. Now, what are the other books he wrote? He wrote another book, right in the same notes, Megha Sandesam. Megha Sandesam. Okay. Please take down some points as I speak. Megha Sandesam is a secular work. It is the message of an estranged lover to his lady love. While their love affair is fine, we are not too bothered with it. We are bothered with what kind of things it mentions. Remember, please note down, this mentions flora and fauna. Flora and fauna ante plants gani, animals gani, whatever. See this, as I said, this is a message of a lover to his lady love. He will be asking the clouds to take his message to his lady love. ఇప్పుడు మేఘాలు వెళ్ళాలి కదా. So actually Kalidas has a very good idea of the topography of India. Now the Megha is, cloud is passing, what it is there on the ground. That description is very interesting. So this book, which is a fiction of Kalidas, gives details about flora and fauna of the Guptan period. And ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, has some years back, some decades back, conducted a study to see whether the things mentioned in the Kalidas in this book are space through satellite, whether they matches. It matched. So this book is very important. This is a secular work, it's a fiction, and it gives importance about topography, flora and fauna. ఇవి మ్యాచింగ్ లో ఇచ్చే అవకాశం ఉంది ప్రిలిమ్స్ లో. ఓకే, సో ఇంత డీటెయిల్డ్ గా చెప్పడానికి కారణం ఏంటంటే ఇవి ప్రిలిమ్స్ కి చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. మెయిన్స్ ఆల్సో ఇఫ్ దర్ ఇస్ ఎ క్వశ్చన్ ఆన్ లిటరేచర్ ఇన్ ద గుప్తన్ పీరియడ్, culture and literature in the Guptan period, you have to mention all these things. Who wrote this? Kalidas. One is Abhinandan Shakuntalam, another one is Megha Sandesam. There are other books. Kumara Sambhavam, Ritu Samharam, Malavikagnimitram. If you have noticed, we did speak about this. When did we speak about Malavikagnimitram? So online friends, tell me, when did we speak about Malavikagnimitram? What is the importance of this book? I think some of you are there when I explained this. Nitisha, Rahul, all these are there. They have a chance of not responding. Now you tell, you are in front of me. Huh? When did we speak about Megha Sandesam? Sorry, Malavikagnimitram. What is the importance of this? That's not available. I'll answer చేయరు ఎలాగా lucky. They're online. Now you tell me here. I will give you a hint. Post-Mauryan period. Post-Mauryan period లో ఎప్పుడు ఏమిటి ఎక్కడ? కళింగ వార్ పోస్ట్-Mauryan పీరియడ్ ఎలా అవుతుంది? పోస్ట్-Mauryan పీరియడ్ అంటే మౌర్యుల తర్వాతనే. కళింగ వార్ మౌర్యుల టైంలో కదా. See, we spoke about this in Sunga period. Who is son of Pushyamitra Sunga? First of all, who is Pushyamitra Sunga? Sunga dynasty. Founder of Sunga dynasty. Okay, who killed last Mauryan emperor, King Brihadratha. Right, his son is Agnimitra. I said Malavikagnimitram is a historical drama which gives details about Sunga dynasty because it is a love story between Malavika and Agnimitra. Okay, so this is also a historical drama. This is a historical drama which you need to remember. Malavikagnimitram, right? So these are the 5 works written by Kalidas. Now what are the 5 works? What are the 5 works now I told? Tell me fast. Abhinandan Shakuntalam, Megha Sandesam, right? Kumara Sambhavam. Yeah, then, right. Remember this. Okay. So, out of this, subject wise, you need to remember Abhinandan Shakuntalam, Megha Sandesam, and of course Malavikagnimitram because it's the source of historical developments. Okay, so this is about Kalidas. I said there are Navaratnas, 9 writers approximately. The number is not sacrosanct. Okay, so who are the other important writers? Visakha Datta. Visakadatta is is also the court poet of Chandragupta too. I already told you he wrote Devi Chandragupta, right? Which explains how he comes to power, right? Devi Chandraguptam. What is another book he wrote? I told you earlier. No, Mudra Rakshasa. Vritshagatika is Sudraka. Again in this time. Mudra Rakshasa. Now Devi Chandraguptam is about what? How Chandragupta too came to power. Remember the content. Okay. Then another book is Mudra Rakshasa. Mudra Rakshasa is what? It is about how Chandragupta Maurya destroyed Nandas, Dhanananda, and came to power. Right? So make a note if you forget. This is about how Mauryas came to power. What is Mudra Rakshasa? Okay. Devi Chandraguptam is about Chandragupta to Vikramaditya coming to power. Mudra Rakshasa is about Chandragupta Maurya. వీళ్ళందరూ ఒకే పేర్లు పెట్టి తెచ్చారు మనం కన్ఫ్యూజ్ చేయడానికి. చంద్రగుప్తం టు విక్రమాదిత్య వేరు, చంద్రగుప్త మౌర్య వేరు. This book is about Chandragupta Maurya, Mauryans. Okay. This is about Chandragupta to Vikramaditya, how he had come to power. Okay. That is how we need to remember. So he is the second important writer after Kalidas. Next, Amara Simha. Amara Kosa. He wrote a Sanskrit dictionary. Called Amara Kosa. Right? Now Sudraka wrote Vritsakatika. This is a fiction again, but it also talks about the importance of family values and morally good behavior. This is a story of a Brahmin called Charudatta who was very pious, who was very disciplined. He used to follow his disciplined family man. Okay, he used to do all regular pujas and everything, very ethical man. But suddenly he falls into infatuation with a courtesan, a dancer, almost a decent word for prostitute. Okay, so he will go after her and he will forget all his ethical behavior. He will lose all the respect. He will lose all the integrity, his family, everything he will lose. So the book says, the story of this book is, the moral of this book is that, we need to be careful in life. Okay, in following our principles. Ethically one should live. That is how we need to understand. So this is about Sudraka. Next one, Amara Simha, Amara Kosha, Sudraka, Ratsyakatika. We have Thakkara Veru. The book is Dravya Pariksha. This is about alchemy, metallurgy, about metals. What are their components? How do you make alloys and all that? Okay. Aryabhatta. About Aryabhattiyam. And you know, friends, this is important for, the most important discovery of zero and decimal system. అంటే సున్నా దశాంక పద్ధతి అంటారు తెలుగులో, జీరో అండ్ డెసిమల్ సిస్టమ్. వితౌట్ దిస్ దెర్ ఇస్ నో మ్యాథ్స్. వితౌట్ జీరో దెర్ ఇస్ నో మ్యాథ్స్. Zero is zero, but without zero everything is zero, right? So for a long time it is believed that zero was discovered by unknown Indian. పాత జనరల్ నాలెడ్జ్ పుస్తకాలు అవి మీరు చూస్తే జీరో వాజ్ డిస్కవర్డ్ బై అన్నోన్ ఇండియన్ ఇప్పటికి కూడా కనిపిస్తూ ఉంటుంది. బట్ ఇట్ ఈస్ లేటర్ ప్రూవ్డ్ that zero was discovered by zero and decimal system was discovered by Aryabhatta, and it traveled to Europe from India towards the end of the Guptan period. And of course, that's why it has again come back to India. So, Aryabhattiyam is a book which mentions zero and decimal system. Aryabhattiyam, please take down these points. If you are exam law, what are the points? Aryabhattiyam mentions zero and decimal system. It also mentions how day and nights happen. You know, day and nights. Aryabhatta talks about the rotation and revolution of the earth, and he also almost measures correctly the number of days in a year. Number of days in a year. Zero, day and nights, number of days in a year. These are the three important things you need to attribute to Aryabhatta. And Aryabhatta wrote that, what is the name of the book he wrote? Aryabhattiyam. Right? Next writer, Varaha Mihira. లఘు జాతక, బృహత్ జాతక, ఈ రెండింటినీ కలిపి బృహత్ సంహిత అంటారు. This is about astrology. And astronomy. ఆస్ట్రాలజీ అంటే ఏమిటి? జాతకం, రైట్? జ్యోతిష్యం. ఆస్ట్రానమీ అంటే ఖగోళ శాస్త్రం. Now what is Jyotisha about? Jyotisha about the impact of planetary movements on our life. For example, మీ గురుబలం బాగుంది అనుకోండి, The group 1 rank was here. I'm just joking. This is a belief. మా తెలుసున్న వాళ్ళ అబ్బాయి ఒక ఆయన ఉండేవాడు, ఒక నా ఫ్రెండ్ వాళ్ళ అబ్బాయి. అతను ఏంటంటే వాళ్ళ నాన్నగారికి బాగా జాతక నమ్మకం, వాళ్ళ అబ్బాయికి నమ్మకం. సో నా దగ్గర కోచింగ్ వచ్చాడు. అది చదివేవాడు కాదు ఎన్నిసార్లు చెప్పిన. సో ఐ యూస్ టు గెట్ అప్సెట్. అంటే తెలుసున్న వాళ్ళ అబ్బాయి కదా. సి యు ఆర్ ఆల్ గ్రోన్ అప్స్. వెదర్ యూ స్టడీ ఆర్ డోంట్ స్టడీ, ఇట్ మే బి ప్రొడక్ట్ ఆఫ్ డిఫరెంట్ ఫ్యాక్టర్స్, వాట్ ఎవర్. సో నాట్ కిడ్స్. దట్ ఫెలో జాయిన్ ఇమీడియట్లీ ఆఫ్టర్ ద డిగ్రీ. సో తెలుసున్న అతను కాబట్టి ఐ యూస్ టు గెట్ అప్సెట్. సో ఐ యూస్ టు టెల్ హిమ్, you have to read, otherwise it is tough, you're wasting time and all that. సరే గ్రూప్ 1 అవలామన్నా, తెలంగాణ గ్రూప్ 1 ప్రిమ్స్ కూడా అవ్వలేదు. సో నేను చెప్పాను, సి ఐ హావ్ బీన్ టెల్లింగ్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు రీడ్. సి వీ నో నా, ఇఫ్ ఐ ఆన్సర్, ఐ నో హౌ మెనీ ఆఫ్ యూ ఆర్ స్టడీయింగ్ ఆఫ్టర్ ఐ ఇంటరాక్ట్ విత్ యూ ఫర్ ఎ పీరియడ్ ఆఫ్ టైం. నేను వాళ్ళ నాన్నగారు చెప్పిన సమాధానం ఏంటి, నేను ఆశ్చర్యపోయాను. వాడు ట్రై చేసాడు సార్, కానీ గురుబలం బాగుండలేదు. గురుబలం బాగుండకపోవడానికి ఏంటి అంటే జాతకం బాగుండలేదు, అందుకే రాలేదని. వాళ్ళ అబ్బాయి కూడా తర్వాత వచ్చాడు, అప్సెట్ అయిపోయి. ఏంటి, డోంట్ గెట్ అప్సెట్, ఎనీవే యువర్ యంగ్, యూ కెన్ ట్రై అగైన్ అని చెప్తే, నో ప్రాబ్లం సార్, నేను గుళ్ళో కూడా ప్రదర్శనలు చేస్తున్నాను. నేను చెప్పాను, గుళ్ళో ప్రదర్శనలు మంచిదే కానీ ఒక గంట చదువు, రైటింగ్ ప్రాక్టీస్ చేయి, వస్తుందని చెప్పి. ఓకే, సో వై ఐఎమ్ సేయింగ్ ఇస్, జ్యోతిష్య ఈజ్ ఎ బిలీఫ్, బట్ దిస్ ఈజ్ సైన్స్, రైట్? వై దిస్ బుక్ ఈజ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్, Vrihat Samhita is important. Varamihira was a wonderful expert, great expert in planetary movements. So as part of his interest in Jyotishya, he gives us details about planetary movement and solar system. That's why this book is considered to be very of high standard, both for astrology, if it's a belief, but astronomy is a science. So this book is very, very important for this. Okay? So I spoke about Kalidas. I spoke about Vishakadatta. I spoke about Abarasimha. I spoke about Sudraka. Then Aryabhatta, Varahamihira, Takkaraferu. Right? These are the next one. Brahmagupta. Gravitation. Gurutvakarsha. Very important bit. Who propounded about gravitation or Gurutvakarshana? That is Brahmagupta. This is not available as a separate book, but he was quoted by others. So this can be given for matching, whatever I am saying. Book name and other book name and content also they can give you. Brahmagupta, right? Next. Charaka. Charaka Samhita. Shushruta. Shushruta Samhita. Charaka Samhita. Shushruta Samhita. Here you write, he is a physician. That points for your reference. He is a physician and he is a surgeon. It is about surgery. Sushruta is a surgeon, not only for humans but also animal veterinary medicine. Okay, so Sushruta is the first surgeon in ancient India. Charaka is a physician and a general doctor. Dhanvantari also is another physician who wrote a treatise on Ayurveda, Samgraha. Okay, these three are doctors, medicinal writings. Charaka Samhita is a text on medicine. Sushruta Samhita is a text on medicine. Ayurveda Samhita is a text on medicine. Okay, so Kalidas, Visakadatta, Takkaraveru, Amarakosha, then Sudraka, Matsyagattika, right? Then Aryabhatta, Varahamihira, Charaka, Sushruta, Dhanvantari, Brahmagupta. So these are more than 9, as you could see. But who are exactly Navaratnas anedi teliyadu. We can't say, but the examination they will ask you. In the preliminary, they might ask you who among the Guptan emperors patronized Navaratnas, the great writers, Chandragupta II. If they say any of these names and ask whether they are among the Navaratnas, you can say yes. In the mains, if there is a question on literature and literary development, you simply say what we are writing. I will tell you that anyway. Art, architecture, literature lo malli ela structure cheyalo chepta, but names remain the same. Okay, so this is about Chandragupta II patronage of literature. Next, in political terms, please take a note. He actually combined Gupta and Vakataka Empire. He combined Gupta and Vakataka Empire. Vakataka is a regional dynasty because he had a daughter called Prabhavati Gupta. She was married to Rudrasena II of Vakataka dynasty. And this man died, her husband died early. So automatically Prabhavati Gupta had an infant son, her father's protection. She started ruling under the protection of her father. Please make a note here, the only woman ruler in the Guptan period, who ruled Vakataka kingdom as a queen mother under the protection of her father. Okay. I think broadly these are the details you need to remember. In the Guptan kingdom, we are seeing political history and developments. We started saying Sri Gupta is the founder, followed by Ghatotkacha Gupta. Real founder is Chandragupta I. After that, we have Samudragupta, then Chandragupta II. Next, Kumar Gupta. Nalanda University. He was the founder of Nalanda University. Add one more point there. You know, a Sumatra ruler, Sumatra, Sumatra, Sumatra ruler donated some villages to Nalanda University under his period. His name is Balaputra Deva. Sumatra ante Indonesia, Java, Southeast Asia. Balaputra Deva. So Kumar Gupta is important for Nalanda University. Add one more point. In the time of Kumar Gupta, Hun invasions on Guptan Empire, they were also called Sweta Hunas. Okay, on Guptan Empire started, and Kumar Gupta sent Skanda Gupta, who was the prince, to stop them. He was able to stop them. Then Skanda Gupta's time, Hun invasions increased, and the last important ruler, imperial ruler, was Buddhagupta. Skanda Gupta repaired the Sudarshan Lake. Who constructed Sudarshan Lake? Yes, Chandragupta Maurya in the Mauryan period. Then I said Ashoka also got it repaired. Then Skandagupta also got it repaired. In brackets Purnagiri Datta and రాసుకోండి సుదర్శన్ లేక్ రిపేర్ దగ్గర. Purnagiri Datta was a local governor. Please make a note. Skandagupta was the Guptan emperor. He ordered the local governor of Gujarat, his name is Purnagiri Datta, to repair the Sudarshan Lake for the irrigation purpose. Okay. So Guptan Empire, you note cheskondi, these are the points we have to see. The topic of discussion for your prelims and mains, and we have covered this. Okay. Now in the social conditions, just listen. Guptan society is very important because for a long time, our Indian society till recently, we have Varna system and all that, position of women, everything was finally shaped by the Guptan period. అంటే ఆల్మోస్ట్ మోడర్న్ పీరియడ్ వరకు మన ఇండియాలో ఉన్నటువంటి సమాజ స్వరూపం గుప్తుల కాలంలో ఎలా ఉందో అలాగే ఉండేది ఆల్మోస్ట్. ఇట్ వాజ్ ద బేసిస్. ద ఫస్ట్ పాయింట్ ఈస్ ద ఇంక్రీజ్ ఇన్ ద వర్ణ రెస్ట్రిక్షన్స్. Guptan rulers were Brahminical patronizers. So they also patronized Brahminical religion and also Varna system. ఇప్పటి నుంచి హిందూ మతం అనాలి మనం గుప్తుల కాలం నుంచి. So they patronized Brahmanas and Hinduism. So Varna system became very, very important. And in fact, Guptan rulers took pride in defending Varna system. That we are the people who are implementing the Varna system like that. Then ashramas. You remember I said Chandogya Upanishad mentions 3 ashramas in the later Vedic period. What are the 3? Ashrama పద్ధతిలో 3 ఆశ్రమాస్ ఏమిటి? Grihastha, Brahmacharya, Vanaprastha and Grihastha. Okay. So these are the 3 ashramas which are mentioned in Chandogya Upanishad in the later Vedic age. I also told you that in the Guptan period, one more ashrama was added, that is Sannyasa ashrama. Then the position of women declined very much. Dharma Shastras. In the post-Mauryan period, we have one Dharma Shastra which is called Manu Dharma Shastra. Now there are other Dharma Shastras, Narada, Brihaspati, Apastamba, Kachayana. All these increased restrictions on women, and sati became widespread. There is an inscription called Eran inscription, which records a sati performed by a wife of a local chieftain called Goparaja. So sati even mentioned in the inscriptions for the first time in the Guptan period. Okay. Then untouchability became very severe. We had Fahian, a Chinese traveler who visited Guptan Empire at this point of time, and he talks about untouchability, and he says in the Guptan period, untouchables will have to carry a stick and alert others that don't come to me, I am an untouchable. There is a kind of heinous conditions that were there in the Guptan period, and society during the Guptan period also had lot of differences between the rich and poor. We have Vatsyayana Kama Sutra, that is also a text of the Guptan period. Vatsyayana Kama Sutra shows glaring differences in the lifestyle, diet and living conditions of the people. So rich and poor differences are very high in the Guptan period. Okay, so these are the aspects about society, but society notes and social and economic conditions will continue after I come back. I mean, whenever history classes are scheduled, because as I said, 7 to 9 is not possible for them. I have other classes of my own classes from 9:15 onwards. So that's it. Any doubts? I think we'll chart enable cheyledemo kada. Disabled వస్తుందా? Interactive undali. Okay. Anyway, friends, I am at least you are able to hear, I suppose. You are able to hear, na? So keep reading. I am not too happy with your revision progress, at least some of you who are here, you have to study. Don't wait for the notification. ఇప్పుడు మన నోటిఫికేషన్ ఇంకా రాలేదని దేవదాసుల్లో ఫీల్ అయిపోకల్లా. ఇప్పుడు నోటిఫికేషన్ వస్తే 3 నెలల్లో మీరు పాస్ అవ్వగలరా? అవ్వలేరు. ఎస్ ఆర్ నో? 1 year పడుతుంది. సో బీ పేషెంట్. జిమ్ కార్బెట్ అని ఒక మంచి రైటర్ ఉన్నారు, ఆయన హంటర్ కూడా. జిమ్ కార్బెట్ నేషనల్ పార్క్ ఆయన పేరు మీద పెట్టారు. ఎప్పుడో ఆయన గురించి చదివా. హంటింగ్ ఎలా చేయాలి అనేది ఆయన ఎక్స్పర్ట్. ఆయన చెప్తుంటారు అనమాట, హీ యూస్ టు వెయిట్ ఫర్ ఏ మేనీటర్ టు కిల్. ఈజ్ హంటింగ్ ఏ మేనీటర్. సో ఇలా గన్ పట్టు కూర్చుంటాడు ఆయన. పులి ఎప్పుడు వస్తుందో చెప్పి రాదు కదా పులి. సో దేర్ ఇస్ అ సెంటెన్స్ విచ్ ఐ రెడ్ ఇన్ 8th or 9th class. ద వెయిట్ ఆఫ్ ద గన్ ఈజ్ బిగినింగ్ టు టెల్. అంటే గన్ పట్టుకుని బరువు ఎత్తిపోతుంది, పులి రావట్లేదని రాస్తాడు ఆయన. అలాగా యూ హ్యావ్ టు బేర్ దిస్ వెయిట్ ఆర్ లాంగ్ పీరియడ్ ఆఫ్ నోటిఫికేషన్, నాట్ కమింగ్ నోటిఫికేషన్. డోంట్ వర్రీ. Okay, whatever classes that are happening, you try to master them. Class వినండి, NCERT చదవండి, notes చదవండి, writing practice చేయండి. So you have a long way to go. So history also, with which I am concerned, you have to read, revise a lot, do writing practice a lot. In a way, this gap is also better in the sense that history is connecting. If you don't understand Mauryan, you don't understand post-Mauryan. If you don't understand post-Mauryan, you don't understand Guptan period. Okay, so please read NCERT ancient, all of you, whenever history classes are scheduled for the next time. Before that, also class notes, whatever I have given so far. Rest we will see after whenever we history start. Okay. Okay then. See you all online friends.